Create quilting fireworks this season on Quilting Arts. Hi, I'm Susan Brubaker-Knapp, and this season of Quilting Arts sizzles with excitement. We're creating a firework display of color and design that explodes onto the quilting landscape. We're here to blow up the rules and change the way you look at contemporary quilting. We begin with imagery and one of the icons of contemporary quilting, Susan Shy. She offers a sneak peek into her sketchbook as she invites us to forget about the rules and draw with the innocence of a child. Then meet Jill Jensen, a master of free motion. Her stitching enhances the imagery and is used to emphasize parts of the printed image and create motion. I'll finish up with simplified soy wax batik. Using a janting to trace the design with wax, then I add color and remove the wax. You'll want to try this easy way to create batiks without dye baths. So get ready to turn the quilting world upside down with Quilting Arts. Artist Susan Shy's sketchbooks are really integral to her process, and you love drawing and love teaching drawing. Welcome.
Thank you, Susan. I really do love teaching drawing, and I've been doing it all my life, starting with a little kid, and I never quit drawing. I was always the kid in the class that got ordered to make the murals and things like that. I made the high school murals for the prom, and I just think that a lot more art quilters and a lot more adults in general need to realize that they have an inborn ability to draw.
Right.
And freehand drawing, meaning you don't start out with a pencil and an eraser. You just draw and accept it the way it is, like a little child does. A little child is so exuberant. They look at their work and they go, I did that, you know.
I love it.
Look at what I've got.
Yeah.
And then they go to school and they get handed pencils and erasers and they start understanding to not make mistakes. So I'm trying to get people to not worry about mistakes and to realize that no computer can do what we can do. We each make our own individual style if we just let it come out, and it's authentic, it's us, like our voice, or how we would play an instrument in our own way.
Yeah,
So-
it's very therapeutic to draw, I think. Very cathartic. You can process things, right? So let's look at some of your earlier sketchbooks, because it's fascinating to see the evolution. Tell me about this one.
Well, this is my first hardbound sketchbook when I was at the College of Worcester in 1980. I started doing my senior project, and I decided it was time to go get that sketchbook I'd been ogling in the bookstore. And so my project was all about a women's thing of making 6 kimonos that were non-wearable, and each one represented a woman. And all this book, including, I have a fortune on there.
Oh, right, I see it.
Way back then, I was using fortunes on my pieces, drawing them at random from a pile and sticking them on at the end. That's all very loose and open, and over here you see some Chinese characters. I was really caught up in using this Eastern art, which I felt was much more female than Western art, very nature-centered. And so I was just captivated by all of these forms. I'd go in the library and just study the characters and copy them and bring them to my work.
Oh, right, like a diary almost.
It is a diary,
Yeah.
and so I knew I had to keep doing them.
Let's look at this next one.
This one was up at Kent State when I was in graduate school at the School of Art, and there was this huge lunar eclipse in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning, and some of us went out, and I drew this afterwards. I didn't take any pictures or anything, I just drew it, but we went out to this meadow, we sat there, Alex had a flute, they had some snacks, and when the moon disappeared, all the crickets and stuff got quiet. Just totally quiet. I've never seen anything like it before or since. And so then I went back and drew this, and it's one of my favorite drawings. And the little joke is I'm holding my hand up like the little shadow puppets you do in the movie thing, and it's showing on the moon. Yeah, that was a fun piece, and it was just a little experience in my life, and it's there forever for me, you know.
Yeah. Now you don't work in pencil first, right? This is ink to paper.
This is ink to paper. This one I probably used some kind of a black marker, and then I used probably just watercolor over it.
And that's important too, because it becomes more direct.
Yeah, and the nice thing about simple things like that, you don't have to be taught how to do that. Like when I would teach airbrush and air pen, it would take a lot of my time. Or back when I was doing the hand sewing, I'd spend all my time teaching people how to thread a needle if you couldn't see to thread it, like I can't, and how to make knots. And I'd stand there in the middle of the class and think, I wasn't supposed to be a home ec teacher. I love home ec teachers, but I'm supposed to be teaching them how to be creative. So when I came back to the drawing and said, pick any art supplies you want to use that we can see. I don't care what you use, and then just play with them. I'm not going to tell you how to do it.
Right.